Hey everybody, this is Rydo, and we are back to Day of the Tentacle Remastered. So we're looking for developers' commentary and playing as Hoagie. Let's move to the next door. Each room is a chance for new commentary. Let's start playing.
Who's that? This is Ben's room, huh? He's into.
He's big into penguins. What is that date that's circled?
Yeah, I was just gonna ask.
Is that your birthday? Your son's birthday?
That says January, right?
Probably says Zach really small.
That's my wife's birthday.
Ah,
Is it?
Yeah.
sneaky.
First or second? Because the car says Zach on the license plate.
Yeah, because Zach was born that year, so I snuck his name in and turned into a ritual. I now try to hide my kids' names in every project I work on.
They're in the bone pile in Grim Fandango, but I never could find it.
Yeah.
I just knew you told me they're in there.
And it's also in Full Throttle too,
Interesting.
but you can't see it. So it's for me, basically.
Interesting. Does it still look the same in the remastered version? Yeah, pretty much. Let's grab this wine bottle. And we don't need anything else here.
Well, you know, I remember we would deliver a piece of music, and of course it's comprised mostly of MIDI note events, which is just a tiny little piece of data within the MIDI stream. Note on, and it happens at this velocity on this channel, to this instrument and whatever. And I would deliver a piece of music, and the programmer would turn to me and say, "Clint, this is over 32K.
Yeah, it's huge.
32 kilobytes. 32 kilobytes. You got to cut this thing down."
Who do you think you are, Mozart?
Yeah. He said, we can't take anything bigger for this scene than 24 kilobytes. So I'd go back and thin the percussion. I'd sometimes have to cut a whole section of the music out to get it down
Well,
to 20.
sometimes there was pushback though too, because we'd say, "All right, look, 10%. We get 10%." Remember that?
Yeah, I remember the pushback.
Yeah.
I don't remember these technical discussions about the size of the music files.
Oh yeah.
Literally, and I remember specifically 32K was often too big.
That's why the iMuse system got called the iMuse system, because it was originally called the sound drivers, and then everybody got all upset because drivers can't occupy a whole floppy disk or whatever it was that the system occupied.
Yep, that is a ridiculously low amount of memory, space. Let's try the ink on the horse.
A horse wouldn't get that joke.
So I'm just gonna go ahead and use the textbook on the horse to make him fall asleep.
The LALR compiler is constructed by the following method. First,
Now,
develop a rigorous elective
it always
grammar.
starts with
If the
the
elements have
LALR,
NP completeness, the crunchy factor can be
elements.
ignored. Blah, blah,
but it
blah,
has several
blah,
other
blah,
different things
blah,
it can
blah,
read.
blah, blah.
I'm not sure if in this
Whoa.
instance where it actually works, though, it
Ick.
starts with anything different. Grab the dentures. Come over here.
Question is,
So-
which one's stuffed and which one's the real McCoy?
This character design was going to be one of the 3 extra characters we
I
found
assure
out.
you that we are both real, but we are neither one of us McCoys.
He looks more like a
We are
pirate
Edisons,
than he
Ned
does
and Jed.
somebody
Who's who?
from modern times.
Does it really matter?
I think you'd have to make him sure.
Even our
at the
dear
very
father
least.
can't tell us apart. He only knows that one of us is left-handed while the other is right, but that neither of us are following in his tiny scientific footsteps. Hold still, Jed. So, I'm almost too frightened to ask, are you the marble delivery man?
Let's just go
Or the
ahead
model?
and skip out of this conversation.
Sorry, hope I haven't jostled you.
There's no reason to go through. So I want
Too
to
late.
switch back to Bernard here. And let's go push Narth Edna and show what happens. Because we didn't do that in the original gameplay. We'll just, to prove that you actually need to move the statue. We'll have him run through here, and so we just are gonna push her and watch what happens. She grabs the hand, swings back, and hits you. So no solution there. So then we have to, let's go ahead and use the invisible ink. Let's just try it with everybody, why not?
Please do not pester me with that.
It's such a silly gag that kids these days probably wouldn't even understand it.
Wow, doesn't even blink.
Please do not perturb my model.
Right. So we go ahead and take this hammer and switch it with the other hammer.
Oh no! I've lost it! Oh, where hath gone the muse that once guided my hand with such care? Must inspiration be so transitory? Must art be so cruel? I'm a failure. Don't say that, Ned. Father was right. We Edisons are made to be scientists, not artists. Dear brother, we must be strong in these times of creative adversity.
So I'm
Why
trying
don't
to
you let
think
me take over for a while?
how much I
I'll
want to
clean
move
this rubble up
forward
and start over.
with Bernard.
You relax.
and how much I'd prefer to just do with Hoagie.
Have a cappuccino.
Cappuccino, which almost certainly didn't exist here.
I'm glad we switched places. I think you're coming out quite well.
So then that changes that, and we can push him, but there's nothing else to do. What's interesting here too is this monitor is not on, and it was
He's
on
gone.
before. Who's gone? Ah. So now we can push her, and out the door she goes.
Well, you know what they say. If you want to save the world, you gotta push a few old ladies down the stairs.
So back to him, back to Hoagie here, and up the stairway. We've already seen that commentary. Now we need to use this bed. No, we need to push.
Where am I gonna put it?
We need to, let's see. It's not the bed, it's the squeaky mattress. Use the squeaky mattress with Jed's bed.
Sounds like the cat's caught a moose up there.
There we go. Now we use the squeaky mattress, and that gives me enough time to come over here and pick up the squeak toy, which I'm sure squeak toys didn't exist back in that day, and then take the red paint, and out the window we go. And there's nothing here, so down the chimney we go. We have the wine bottle, which we can go ahead and put in the time capsule.
Thank you. This is exactly the sort of thing I need for the time capsule. I'll bury it tonight, and it won't be seen for hundreds of years. Future generations are in your debt.
Whoa.
And see, we could go further with this, but I don't want to quite yet. Let's see. Forgot to get water in the bucket too. We need to come over here and paint the tree red. Make it look like a cherry tree because George Washington.
Ding, 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 ding.
And see, that's the same commentary we've already had. So I'm not sure we're actually even going to see much more commentary go on. Let's see. Through this swing door, we need the bucket with the water pump. And that didn't work. And then, let's see, the soap. With
The
this.
water's all sudsy now.
I'm gonna go ahead and send the book back to Bernard. And let's see. I think the red paint can go to Bernard too. Right now. And I don't think anything else. And then let's go ahead and talk to George Washington.
Excuse me.
And get him
Yes.
to chop down the tree.
Whoa, you're like George Washington. Very much like him, according to my wife, Mrs. Washington. Whoa. Indeed. Is it true about you and the
just
cherry
keep
tree?
Finding the conversation
yes,
for the
it's
cherry
quite
tree.
True. Why, I've cut down acres of cherry trees in my day. I bet you've lost it. You couldn't cut down a tree to save your grandmother. Lost it, have I? Why, I'd show you a thing or two if there were a cherry tree nearby. But as you can see, there... Oh, well, what do you know? There is a cherry tree out there. Well, let's go chop the sucker down.
Notice this cutscene doesn't get zoomed out either with the new animation mode.
I said come down from there at once!
Try to understand. I'm stuck in this.
Voila! You're quite a man. Yes, I know.
So now we can play the commentary, and we'll see if.
Ding, 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 ding.
Nope, that's the same. Same ding 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 ding, but that's also.
How about an amendment that the president has to be a human
interesting
being?
Element to the
Please,
game
this
that
is serious
you
business.
unlock all the characters.
You're right.
In that time frame, in that area. So let's go ahead and use this with this to get it to start raining.
Dum-de-dum. Looks like a big storm. See, this is why I never wash my car. Hey, Ben,
What do you want?
where are you going? What about your
So
experiment?
it feels like we've exhausted all the commentary for
Even
the present
science
and the
sometimes
past.
gets cold on account of
So
rain, my
only
boy.
the
But how are you
future
ever going to get lightning
is,
if you're not going to stand out in a storm?
To be frank, which I am, I don't know. The science of electrodynamics,
It's also weird that the
much
flag
like your
here
mind,
has a pocket
apparently,
in it already.
is still in a state of relative infancy. Back to the drawing board, I say.
What a genius.
So is this commentary?
So, Dave, are you going to take credit for the wash your car to make it rain puzzle?
I always feel like I need to both apologize for and defend this puzzle in this game because, I mean, there is a lesson here about how to design puzzles because you always want to make sure that the audience has all of the information that they need in order to make the leap that's going to get them the puzzle solution. And in this case, like I grew up with a father who told me that it was just common knowledge that when you washed your car, it made it rain. So I just assumed that everybody around the globe would understand that and that we didn't really have
We
to
all
say
found that
much
to be acceptable.
about it.
I think we are like, yep,
a lot of people
that'd
have
be a good puzzle.
have had, yeah, a lot of people have come back and complained about that over the years. That
Well,
that was
but
problematic. But
when you do try to wash the Cadillac,
right, there's a great
Very
hint.
good.
There's
There.
another
Okay.
car in
What
there.
does he say?
It says "wash me" right on there, and when you try to wash it, he says something like, "I don't want to do that because every time I wash my car, it makes it rain."
that I think my judgment is that is absolutely fair.
The hint is in there.
It's
and
right
if
there.
if
It's
you
a
were
big
doing
old
the
sign.
exploration-
So it's still kind of a bad puzzle, but not as terrible as a lot of other point-and-click adventure games. Alright. So I think we can just go on to Laverne now.
Get me out of here!
I like how this family, through time, just replaces each member with the exact same member. There's one mad scientist, there's one freaky son, and there's one red-haired lady. They all just give birth to someone who looks just like them? Or are they clones?
Or do the Eds grow up into Freds?
And they switch?
And they shrink.
Okay.
They shrink as they get old.
Damn that Dr. Fred.
Hey, she knows the Edison family motto.
So we need to get that outfit really quickly, so I'm gonna
Mr.
play
Tentacle Guy.
perfectly here. I'll say I don't feel so good.
Ooh, I don't feel so good. I think I'm going to throw up all over.
Uh-oh. Time to visit Dr. Tentacle.
Well, well, what have we here?
I feel pukey.
Indeed. All right, now hold still.
Are you gonna use your scalpel?
No, of course not.
Darn. Do you want to use mine?
No.
What? What?
What's
Just as I
funny is she says she's a
What?
sophomore and
There's
she's
nothing wrong with
pre-med.
you, human.
So how
What
can
a letdown.
that's
Well,
like a sophomore
I'm late for the show.
in college
I'll send your
pre-med?
keeper back for you.
I wouldn't put her in college. She looks
Sit.
looks
Stay.
high school age.
Good boy.
I guess maybe with the way it's animated, she determining an age is probably not too accurate in the first place. So we needed the human chart, that, and if I go through this door, I'll get caught. If I go through this door, I'll get caught. We can play commentary here.
Oh, blue tentacle. I forgot there's different colors.
Blue tentacle.
Which raises the question, purple tentacle went off and kind of like, who did he mate with to create
Obviously.
blue?
Wait a second.
No, that would be blue and...
Yeah, blue and red. His parents must have been... But his brother is
Well, you know,
green.
it's like a dominant recessive gene kind of thing. You know, like it's if you have the blue eyes, but you could still have brown eyes. You could still have the blue-eyed gene. You could have the blue if you're purple. You know.
Alright. Over here, we get the ding, and we can grab this tiny sweater.
Ooh, cute.
Going to open this cabinet. Nothing in it. Walk through here. The recyclotron is really confusing because it doesn't actually do anything in the game as far as I can tell. And I can go up the fireplace, or I can go back into the kennel. And talking to the blue tentacle is not important. Let's see if we can just go out this door. Now I'll just
Humans aren't allowed to roam free here. I'm taking you back to the kennel.
I wish I had some sort of tentacle disguise.
So, same commentary here.
I like how this family...
So now I just need to tell her...
Yoo-hoo, Mr. Tentacle Guy.
That I need to go to the bathroom.
I have to go to the bathroom.
Ha, that's a good one. Imagine a human using a bathroom. Come on, let's take a walk. Okay, human, do your business.
Now, I suppose I could have just immediately sent this to her. And we'll go ahead and send the scalpel to burn her. And that leaves her in a good position for the next thing I need to do.
The reason for the way Day of the Tentacle looks is because of Monkey Island 2 and how it translated and how technology back then just mutilated my illustrations. And so for the next round, I knew to overcome that challenge was to simplify the backgrounds so then I could eliminate most of those floating pixels.
All the noise.
Right? All the noise. So it was a lot of work because once I scanned it in, I had to clean it all up. So I chose this very like paper cutout kind of simple backgrounds just to make it look like it was supposed to be this way, that it was supposed to be clean.
And didn't you also scan them in black and white and paint them in deep paint? Like, I don't think you colorized them before you
No,
scanned them.
I did. These are all markers.
Right?
These are all markers.
But didn't you pump the
I pumped up the palettes. Yeah, so out of
the wall is completely, like, it's one color of gray right back
it was
there.
all like 100 colors of gray, and I would just pick one of them to represent that wall.
Oh, so I always tell
I
people you
cleaned it
scanned
all
them
up.
in black and white.
Nope.
That's a big
It
lie.
was all-
That's a big lie. Everybody, that's a big lie.
So this is all markers, yeah.
And I don't want to be
And I had to
critical,
clean it
Peter,
up.
but I have a feeling some of your vanishing points don't line up.
Yeah, and that, again, thank you. Again, that was a challenge for me because I love perspective and proper perspective. And so for this game, definitely learning how to let go and go outside my comfort zone. Right, how to be wrong on purpose.
It's like you
was
love
a challenge
perspective
for
so
me.
much, there's 5 different
Oh,
perspectives.
I was fighting myself every day just doing this. But, you know, I knew, in the end it was going to be okay because that was what we chose to do together.
Well, I'm not going to get into it too much, but vanishing point and perspectives are very important to art, so if you don't know what those are, I'd recommend learning about them and trying to at least have a basic understanding of it. So last time we started at 25%, and now we're at 37% done. And again, a lot closer to the end than I think even that counts. I would put myself maybe closer to 60% done with the game. Just because we know what to do from this point, and I'm even taking the extra time to do some of the extra achievements. Anywho, that's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment if you want to, and watch every second of my videos. All of that helps out. If you want to support me further, you can click on my name, Rydo. On the right will be a blue button that says support this channel. Click it, make a donation. And if you want to friend or follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.